And so why are you going to spend $150, $80 on something if you only know one way to wear it? I think the feeling is more almost important than the look.
This is what you do when you got to add color or pattern.
Just start picking outfits that you see that you like.
But I felt like it was just such a seamless, easy process, and it was so much fun. Hello everyone, and welcome to Design Discussions with Nadine. I am Nadine, and today I have a very special guest, Ashley Rhodes, and she is a personal stylist, and she's actually my stylist. So thank you, Ashley, for coming to talk to me. This is going to be such a fun episode. We're going to talk all things, of course, styling and tips and tricks and some advice on what you might have for, interior designers and such that are on social media and what they should do to improve their style.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This is such an awesome set, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, this is going to be, like I said, a fun one. It's a little bit different from what I normally do, but it goes hand in hand with design. Instead of designing a home, you design people.
Which I find to be much easier, though I know you would disagree. You're so good at interior, and I just think it's so much easier to dress a body, but everyone's different, so.
Yeah, and you've been at this for a little while, about 10 years.
Yes, it's been 10 years. I can't even believe it.
And it wasn't something that you really went into like purposefully, right? You kind of fell into it a little bit?
Oh my gosh, not at all. I mean, a lot of other stylists that I've met, they say stuff like, oh, I had every copy of Vogue and I watched all the runway shows. And I was like, no, I would actually watch that stuff and be like, this doesn't seem realistic for everyday women. Mm-hmm. So I was actually in medical device sales and I got fired, straight up fired. And I was trying to find another sales job. I had a headhunter that I was working with, and he wanted me to tell people that I was let go. And, being a follower of Jesus Christ, I said, no, I'm not going to lie. But of course, that made finding something a lot slower. So I decided to go work at my favorite clothing store, White House Black Market. And I fell in love with it. Like, I loved helping the women there. Like, there was such a difference. Like, they'd be like, wow, I would have never found these things on my own. Mm-hmm. I wish you could come to my closet. And I'm like, maybe I could.
Light bulb moment.
There was a really big light bulb moment that this was a really big struggle for so many. I think a lot of women don't like to talk about it because I think, as women, do you feel like we think like we should know?
Yes, and I feel like that was my situation too. I felt like my wardrobe was like okay, but then at some time I felt like, wow, it does feel pretty stale. And of course, me being, on YouTube and Instagram and everything, after I would see myself, I'm like, oh, that doesn't look very good. So I was kind of like, I need to do something to improve the way I look and feel. Right. It's not just about the look, it's about how you feel. Because once I started working with you, I realized, wow, like what a difference it made in changing
your mood.
Yes. Yeah. And making me feel so much better about myself, and the confidence is
I think
huge.
The feeling is more almost important than the look, which is so crazy. Like, yeah, the look matters, but it's really how you feel on the inside. And I think a lot of women are afraid to say that they don't know how to do it. Like, oh, as a woman, I should know how. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. We don't just come out of our mother's wombs knowing how to style ourselves. We all have different body types. And then the retail world, the clothes are changing constantly. There's bad quality of clothes. There's some retailers who don't care how clothes fits you. So people feel like, oh, something's wrong with me, when really it's not.
And that was a huge part that I learned after working with you too, is the quality. And it's definitely not the same. So sometimes people might feel like, oh, I don't necessarily want to invest X amount of dollars in, a more expensive pair of jeans or shirt, or even t-shirts that are a little bit more expensive than what you would buy online or something. But the feel of it makes you feel so much better. And it looks better. You can tell.
It looks better, you can tell, but also I think the reason people don't want to invest is because they only think they're going to be able to know how to wear it one way. Mm-hmm. And so why are you going to spend $150, $80 on something if you only know one way to wear it? So my goal is yes, we are going to invest a little bit in this piece, but I'm going to show you how to wear it multiple ways so that you don't just have a bunch of one-off pieces in your closet that don't do anything.
Yeah, which is pretty much, I think, what I had.
Yeah.
And then also, needing the help from somebody to put things together and mix and match it to where, hey, I can use this piece with something else. And like you said, we don't just naturally know how to do that. Some people do.
Yeah, but most people I've found don't. And I learned a lot of that at White House Black Market. I mean, my mother taught me a lot about fit when I was growing up, but not everybody's mother knows that information. I didn't know that, but they don't. And so I learned a lot about styling at White House Black Market. It can be taught. And the big thing that I get really excited about is showing somebody, how do you take one piece and wear it to work? But then if I put some other pieces with it, you can wear it out. Or if I tweak it a little bit more, you can do it elevated casual and just run errands. Because even just running errands or being around the house, like, it's not always about a show. It's about how we feel about ourselves during the day, just alone. So, yeah.
And then how do you go about helping clients find their style or bringing together something that they might, because we all see things online and we're like, oh, she looks so cute, but couldn't do it ourselves. Like, how do you, as a personal stylist, work with your clients in order to help them bring that out?
So the first step that I always have people do is get the style juices flowing. So I always have them make a Pinterest board. And the first thing that people say is, but wait a second, I can pick those outfits that I like on Pinterest, but they're not going to look good on me. And no, hold on. What I want people to do is don't worry about that part. Don't worry about what's going to look good on you, but just start picking outfits that you see that you like. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to see a pattern. There's going to be similarities. You're going to start seeing similarities in colors, similarity in silhouettes. And so what I do then is help people see that for their body type, because what might be on that Pinterest board might not work for you. But when I come and see them, then we can really address their body. And then showing me what's in their wardrobe. So I usually say, pick 5 things that you love out of your wardrobe. Try them on for me really quickly. You like this because of that.
I don't think I had that many.
No. Some people don't.
I don't think I could have had 5 things.
Nadine was somebody who was like, I hate everything.
Yeah.
And there are some people who are like that, but some people have a few pieces that are like, I feel good in this. And I'm like, okay, try that on. Oh, that's why you feel good in this. And then show me some other things that maybe you don't know what to do with or don't fit well. And they put it on and go, here's why that doesn't work. And all of a sudden they have a light bulb moment of, oh, I never realized that about myself. Like, I never realized I was attracted to this color. I never realized these fabrics or these fits. And so I'm just the facilitating aid to ask the right questions to get people to that spot of, oh, this is my personal style.
I know we got rid of a lot of florals.
Yes.
From my closet, because I had a tendency to gravitate towards those. And I think it was just because at the time it was like, it gave something a little bit extra, not than just one plain color. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is what you do when you got to add color or pattern. And so I always gravitated towards that. But then in the end, I'm like, this is not
I think what you want in particular was interest. And so like this beautiful top that you're wearing that we got you, it has interest that more says Nadine. The big florals just weren't you, but we've gotten you pieces that have texture and are certain fabrics. And that shows the interest I think that you were looking for in the floral. So right. So it's just kind of helping people redirect. Like, I knew you wanted something interesting, but floral wasn't it. And then we found what worked for you.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
So then so if somebody wants to, talk to you about possibly bringing you on, what is your process? I mean, I know what that process is because I've gone through it quite a few times. We've worked together, but for everybody watching, like what is your process on how you onboard somebody or talk to them in order to see if it's the right fit?
So the first step is we do a one-on-one style consult because it's really important that you feel comfortable with me. This is a personal process. I'm going to be coming into your wardrobe. It's something you need to make sure you like me. So we get on a call. I'm going to ask some questions and see are we the right fit? Are you really struggling with knowing where good quality pieces are to buy? Are you struggling with knowing what to mix and match, what your style is, what your body type is? Those are the kinds of people that definitely need help. I also really enjoy people who want an efficient wardrobe. So they're not people who just want the latest and greatest or like the brand name. I want people who are like, no, I want a wardrobe that works together, is easily mix and matchable, and I don't have to have a lot, right?
Yeah.
So those are really my people. And once we get there, we're going to start with, no matter which of my services you start with, we're going to start with a sort in your wardrobe, a shop, and then a style. So I'm going to come to your wardrobe. I'm going to look at what you have. We're going to, like we talked about a minute ago, you're going to try on some pieces for me. We're going to look at your Pinterest board that you've created. And from there, we're going to make an efficient shopping list. I'm really big. If we buy a piece of clothing, we should be able to wear it 4 or more different ways. Because if not, what are we doing? The more we have, the more overwhelmed we're going to be. So my goal is really to help people simplify that. And that doesn't mean we have to go buy a lot at the mall. I want to buy pieces that do it all. So making that list. And then on a separate day, we go shopping, and I think Nadine can say it was like literally people say it's like the best shopping experience.
So much fun. I mean, I had no idea that it was going to be, because honestly, when I was younger, I liked shopping when I was in my 20s, and then
when it's easy.
Yeah. Everything fits right. And, you can pretty much put on anything. But I felt like it was just such a seamless, easy process, and it was so much fun. And the first time we did it, I was like, I don't think I said no to much of anything. I mean, I did, but I was just, you had already planned and prepped so well that you had already pulled so many things that would go with what I was looking for. So it was like the most, and I told my husband too, I said, this was the best shopping I've ever had.
Well, because I think it took you a lot of time before me, right? Like, how much time are you wasting looking for clothes to look good for on camera? And so taking it down to we're in and out in 3 hours. And I did all that work at the sort, figuring out what you wanted. So that's why when you walk in, you're like, oh, wow, I like everything. It's like, because we'd already nailed that down.
Yeah, so she picks and chooses. She goes to the stores ahead of time and picks and chooses everything, has a dressing room ready and everything. So it's like, wow, it was amazing.
Yeah, 3 hours in and out. You were looking at me like, this was white glove service. And you were the first person to tell me that. And I was like,
yeah.
Well, thank you. That's wonderful. I'm just so glad to help women make it effortless. We have so much going on in our lives, so many other stressors, but we need to look and feel good. And there's too much other things on our plate. If I can take one thing off, this one big thing, I feel like that's really my purpose.
And then we'll talk about the app that you use also for afterwards. So during that styling session, how you take pictures of me or whoever you're working with in the outfit, so we can go back into the app and reference all those photos, because there's so many outfits that we put on in that session. It's impossible to remember everything.
No way.
So that is a great tool for reference after the fact, after you leave, that it's like, okay, I can go back and be like, what do I want to wear today? And I just open the app and just look, oh, that outfit looks cute. Let me put that on.
That's one of my favorite parts. It's the virtual closet. So it's an app on your phone. The last session after shopping is putting everything together from head to toe, shoes, jewelry, showing you how to take one top and make it work for work, but then also make it work for Elevate Casual or make it work for going out. But how are you supposed to remember that all? So we're going to take pictures of each look, which is what we did for you. And then having it on that app. So you wake up in the morning like, wait, what did I... Don't have to think about it. I can just click the app and then the outfits come up.
Yeah, and then the fact that you're also available after the fact for if I want to take a picture of, hey, if this outfit looks good, doesn't look good, she can, answer questions.
Absolutely, yeah. With my bigger packages, I use an app called Voxer. That is a walkie-talkie app. So if you have any questions, you can leave me a message anytime, send pictures. Like, does this go with this? Should I buy this? It just takes so much brain power away from looking great and feeling great.
Yeah. And then I learned something else about you that I had no idea. And then I was totally surprised by that you were part of the FFA and you were a barrel racer.
Yeah. Everyone's like, wait.
I want to talk about that because I'm like, I would never in a million years have imagined.
God has a sense of humor because, I never thought that I would be a stylist. Because I grew up raising cattle and goats in the city. So not even I didn't even live in the country. I was just a girl who loved animals. And everyone was like, and so I raised animals and I was obsessed with horses. And I did barrel racing in college on the rodeo team. I thought I was going to live on a ranch. I thought I was going to have a cowboy husband with God has such different plans. And I would never have this styling business without him and his intervention. So I'm just so thankful. But yeah, people are really surprised when they hear that.
Yeah, because it's way far off from what I would have ever thought. So when I read that, I was like, wow.
I was like, what the heck? A lot of people who are tomboys are like, man, I really related when you said you lived in a bar. And I'm like, I'm really not your typical personal stylist.
Well, when I was researching, when I was looking for someone, something about you just struck me as, you're different. You will maybe be able to bring out something a little bit more funky, because I had that side of me too.
Yeah, you do.
So I was like, she seems like the perfect fit for me. So, and I was right.
You are so sweet. I do feel like I'm a little bit more on the brighter, happier, even though I'm wearing all black today, on the brighter, happier, spunkier side of style. There's a lot of other good stylists in Houston. However, I don't think they have the kind of pizzazz, thank you, or focus on what I like to call capsule wardrobe, which is kind of what I've been talking about the whole time.
Yeah, and that was the thing, and I wanted to explain what that means, because even that I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, which is funny because that's basically what I gave you, and I need to explain it to people more, but this whole concept of having a certain piece of clothing that can be worn many different ways. So I can wear this top with this bottom and these shoes and that shoes. We're creating a capsule wardrobe where we don't have to own so many clothes. Mm-hmm. We can have this little capsule, and everyone's is different, by the way. There's a lot of, like, if you go on Pinterest, capsule wardrobe, and everybody has the same trench coat and everybody has the same striped top. No, it's finding your personal capsule wardrobe. Mm-hmm. What few pieces can you mix and match together easily and effortlessly, because we just don't need to own that many clothes. That's what creates the overwhelm in our life, and we literally have that everywhere else. We don't need any more of it.
Yeah, and I did that. I had so many things, and half of it I didn't wear, or more than half. And now I have a lot less, but much more functional, much more better looking. So,
and getting ready every day for, like, your podcasts or going to a house to show a house, I mean, is so much easier now for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's more fun.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
Well, you're excited.
I'm telling you, for so long, I'm like, what do I wear? Same old, same old. And it was just like, now I feel like it's more enjoyable trying to find something to wear and actually enjoy getting dressed. And Lily is dancing away.
I know,
over
I love
here.
this bird. I love this bird.
I'm going to give you a couple of
She's
more.
She's precious. No, it's actually, I love being excited to go out. Like, I know when I don't have something that I feel good wearing, that I don't feel great in, I'm not excited to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet people. I don't want to talk to people. Like, it really affects our confidence and our self-esteem. And so I love hearing that you're like, I'm actually excited. Like, yes, you loved showing houses, but now it's like even more, So,
yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah.
So you have also worked with people nationwide in other states.
Yes.
So I think that's also the beauty of virtual things in a lot of these industries, that you can help people, not just locally.
And I think a lot of people get worried, like, oh, I really want you to see me in person. But, like, after doing this for 10 years, there are certain brands that I go to. Because I'm looking for a certain quality. So there are some brands that I totally ignore, and there are some brands that I'm like, yes. So I've learned these brands. I've learned different kinds of styles of clothing. So when I'm able to shop for people online and they're not with me, it's a much more efficient process. We're not going to have to order 10 different things. We're going to be able to order 2 things and then have them return it, easily. So, and I'm able to see you on virtual, like, I don't need to be there. And I think people worry, but I've worked with people in Louisiana and other states that it's gone really, really well.
You've helped me discover a couple of brands that I didn't know about that I absolutely love now too. Yeah.
Which ones were your favorite?
I love Madewell and Aritzia. Aritzia is a great store. I mean, I've heard about the name before, but never shopped in there or anything, but amazing, amazing stuff.
A gem.
Yeah.
It is a true gem. It showed up at the Houston Gallery in 2020, and I didn't know anything about it. It was a Canadian brand. And oh my gosh, talk about really fantastic quality clothing. And, like, it's not cheap, but it's not like Chanel.
Really out there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's $150 for a pair of pants, but you will have those pair of pants till the end of time.
And going back to the fit, so you can definitely tell, spending a little bit more on something, the fit and the material and everything is so different from just picking it up for $20, $30, $40 somewhere.
I think that people think that there's something wrong with their body. So they go try something on, let's say at Target, and it doesn't fit right. And I think immediately us as women go, something's wrong with me. And what it is that for buying for something for $30, there's only so much they can do to that piece, only so much time that they're going to spend, right? Because if they spend a lot of time to make it fit really well, then it's going to cost more money. So yes, does that mean everything that's expensive is better? No, because, like, there are brands I don't like Theory or some other, like, higher end designer brands that I don't really show anybody designer brands. Actually, a lot of those don't fit well. So some of my favorites are Aritzia.
I was just going to ask you, what are your other favorites?
My favorites, Aritzia, Madewell. I love Athleta for like easily dress up and down athletic wear. There's some brands I like at Nordstrom, Lucky Brand. There's some brands at Macy's like DKNY, Donna Karan I like a lot.
We found me a beautiful blazer.
By Donna Karan,
yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And I've worn it a couple of times and I love it.
And I think it was like, what, $125, $150?
Yeah. So it's not crazy.
Yeah. You don't have to buy, you don't have to go to Saks or Neiman's to find something. So it's not always that more expensive is better, but it's certain brands. So.
Well, and now that I can actually wear sweaters and, blazers.
Yeah.
Well, for the last, week?
Oh my gosh. And Nadine is so fun to dress because she's like this really tall, beautiful Barbie doll.
Oh.
Everything looks good on her. So you really were just a blast to dress, honestly.
Thank you so much. Well, we have something else here for you.
Okay.
That my 15-year-old son is an artist. Well, both my sons are an artist. So he made this in art class.
Okay,
and
so I saw this in your bathroom.
Yeah, I know that you had your eye on it. So he wants you to have it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. I just think this is so unique and different. Like, I love the eyes on it. And like, the Bible talks about angels having all these eyes and that they're just these weird creatures. And I feel like this is just, I don't know, something really cool. So he's so creative.
Yeah. So you can take it home and place it wherever you need be for,
Thank you so much.
Maybe some inspiration to somewhere.
I love it.
Yeah. So now the last question that I have for you is my typical funny or horror story that you might have that might entertain people.
Okay.
Or, well, the funny one might entertain. If you have a horror story, that would be great too. What do you have to share?
I think I have a horror story. I think I learned what kind of clients that I like to work with. And not that this is every client, but sometimes really bougie clients can be a little bit hard to work with. A particular one, she lived in this really nice apartment complex where like each one is like its own. Yeah, and so an elevator like came out into her, it was beautiful. She had I think her closet was the size of this studio, and she had this big, beautiful thing in the middle. And we were sorting through and organizing everything, and I dropped an earring, and I felt so. And I looked down and I couldn't find it, and it was like it was a resin earring. It was plastic, but I mean, still, it's somebody's earring. Like I lost an earring. I need to find it, so I'm looking everywhere for this earring. And I can't find it anywhere, and I can tell she's getting really impatient. And I've been looking for like 30 minutes. And finally she goes, "Is it in your pocket?"
Wow. Oh.
I got up and I was like, I had two front pockets on. I was like, and then I turned around and I showed her my butt and I was like, nope, there's no earring in my pocket. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I will get you another earring. And then of course, like 2 days later, she calls me, "Oh, I found it. It's in my boot."
Oh.
And I was like,
that's a very unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? Thankfully, that does not happen very often, but I did have fun kind of doing the pat down of saying like, "Nope, would you like to check?"
You can check if you want.
I do not. It wasn't like a diamond earring or anything. It was just like a plastic earring, but those clients are far and few in between. So
yeah, that is a bit of a horror story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. It's okay.
Well, this was so fun. Thank you for sitting and talking with me and, getting to know you even a little bit more.
Well, I've really loved having you as a client, and I really appreciate our friendship.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. Yeah.
So thanks, everyone, for watching. Until then, stay tuned for the next one. Bye.